Hello, my name is Jonathan Crick, and today I'm going to be discussing with you Chapter 3 from the book, which is about foundations of individual behavior. Now, I actually found this chapter to be quite interesting because, like many of you in the workforce, you get along with a lot of people, but there are a few people that you don't quite see eye to eye with. And this chapter was really instrumental in showing me how you can figure out what their personalities are and how you can better get along with those people so that you can be more productive as a whole organization for whatever organization you work for. So let's get started. Um, People in different organizations, they have what is called a psychological contract, which is a person's set of expectations regarding what he or she will contribute to an organization and what the organization in return will provide to the individual. Now, the psychological contract is made up of contributions, which these contributions by the individual are made up of things such as effort, skills, ability, time, and loyalty. And then the individual's organization will then provide inducements to the individual in the form of tangible rewards such as pay and career opportunities, but also intangible rewards, which are job security and status, are just two of the many. Then there's also this thing called person-job fit, and that is the extent to which the contributions that I was talking about earlier, made by the individual, match the inducements which are offered by the organization. So if they don't match, then that's not a good fit. But if they do match, then it's what we call a person-job fit. Now, not everybody is alike. No two people are alike. Everybody has some sort of differences among them, and in the book they call these individual differences. They are the personal attributes that vary from one person to another. And the book breaks these individual differences up into three categories: personality, attitude, and perception. The first one, personality, is the relatively stable set of psychological attributes that distinguish one person from another. And the book gives many different frameworks. Well, it gives a couple of them, but it says that there are a bunch of them. And I'm going to cover the three frameworks that the book covers. And they've been formed to help identify how personality traits link an individual to his or her organization. The first framework is the Big Five personality framework. And it's called the Big Five because there are five subpoints under it. The first of which is agreeableness, which is the ability to get along with others. The second one is conscientiousness, which refers to the number of goals on which a person focuses. The third one is neuroticism, which is characterized by a person's tendency to experience unpleasant emotions such as anger, depression, or anxiety. The fourth one is extroversion, which is the quality of being comfortable with relationships. That's the opposite of introversion. And then the fifth one is openness, which is the capacity to entertain new ideas and to change as a result of new information. The second framework is the Myers-Briggs framework, and this is broken up into four categories as well. It was developed by Carl Jung, and the first subcategory is sensing, the second one is intuiting, the third one is judging, and the fourth one is perceiving. Now, I've taken this test a couple times actually, sometimes for jobs, sometimes just because some friends want to do some studies on it, and I found that it is somewhat useful, but I think a lot of people put too much stock into it. I think that they think, oh, this person got this result, so I'm probably not going to get along with them, and then they let that interfere with how they would have reacted to that person. I think, like I said, it is a little bit helpful, but when I was taking it, I would get different results sometimes, and I think it's kind of hard, at least for me, to get conclusive results with this and to do this test objectively, it was kind of difficult for me. The the third framework is the emotional intelligence framework, and that is the extent to which people are self-aware, can manage their emotions, can motivate themselves, can express empathy for others, and possess social skills. The second point about individual differences that we'll look at is attitude. Attitudes are a person's complexes of beliefs and feelings about specific ideas, situations, or other people. Attitudes are generally formed around a sequence of cognition, affect, and behavioral intention. Now, what is cognition? A person's cognitions constitute the knowledge a person presumes to have about something. A person's affect is his or her feelings towards something, and then an intention is a component of attitude that guides a person's behavior. Now, when two cognitions contradict each other, cognitive dissonance occurs. Cognitive dissonance is the anxiety a person experiences when simultaneously possessing two sets of knowledge or perceptions that are contradictory or incongruent. Now, this cognitive dissonance can cause an attitude change, or it can cause it to stay the same, but it's a 50-50. Now, there are two key work-related attitudes. The first one is job satisfaction, and that is the extent to which someone is gratified or fulfilled by his or her work. The second one is organizational commitment, which is a person's identification with and attachment to an organization. Now, I have this former coworker of mine. He's a friend of mine. We worked at the same company, and we were working the night shift. And he had a family, and he wasn't satisfied with his job because it was night shift, and so he wasn't able to spend as much time with his family as he wanted to. But he still had a commitment to the organization, so he didn't want to leave the organization. But what he ended up doing was he was able to transfer to another department within the same organization, so that he was finally able to find a job that he was satisfied with, and then while maintaining his commitment to his organization. So that worked out for him. The third point about the individual differences is perception. And perception is the set of processes by which an individual becomes aware of and interprets information about the environment. And there are two basic perceptual processes that are particularly relevant to managers. They are selective perception and stereotyping. Selective perception is the process of screening out information that we are uncomfortable with or that contradicts our beliefs. And then stereotyping is the process of categorizing or labeling people on the basis of a single attribute. Now, most people associate this stereotyping with race or gender, and I mean, historically that does happen, but there are other types of stereotyping, which actually brings me to my question for you guys to answer in the discussion board. The question is stereotyping ever good or useful in the workplace when hiring? Why or why not? I look forward to hearing your answers, and have a good rest of the day.